let's get to it. So the meat of the whole thing today.
I don't like when you start these serious discussions. Please keep the music. Thank.
It's not serious discussions. I don't know what you're talking about. We're just talking about events that occurred sometimes this week. And this is nothing serious. To us anyway. It's serious to the people involved, but not serious for us because we're seeing it as entertainment, although it is a very real problem for the people involved. Right. So I'd like to discuss what happened in Frenemies. Frenemies. You guys know the podcast Frenemies?
Flack is adult.
It's pretty popular, podcast. Yeah, and people who have been watching H3 would have watched it, since the beginning. If you're a fan of Trisha, then Trisha would have announced the podcast happening anyway, so you would have seen Frenemies from the beginning. If you just caught wind of what Frenemies is and started watching it, I think you know enough to a point where these two Agent of Chaos, the two Calamity, joined forces and created a podcast together where them by existing makes the whole thing so entertaining. It's almost like a train wreck that you can't look away from. it's beautiful. And
LMAO, I finally made a diamond chest plate armor and then I got attacked. I panicked and I tried to run away, then I fell in lava.
Oh no, you lost the armor. What a shame. I saw you wear the top armor part. Yeah. I've watched you from Hazardous's point of view. Right, so that is the gist of what this podcast is. David Dobrik had a scandal because of that podcast.
LAZYPEACHF.
Because Trisha speaking out on it became amplified by Ethan's support, and then that kind of snowballed into the David Dobrik scandal. Yeah, and there's so many people who tried to defend David Dobrik and I guess got burnt in the process. Yeah, Jeff Wittick recovered pretty fast.
Eventually.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, Frenemies should take the credit for that though, because they did amplify the voices of the victims, I'd say. If the platform wasn't there, then this whole thing wouldn't have rolled out the way it did. So I'm not here to explain what happened to David Dobrik.
Trisha had gone on about it before it happened. When it happened, they did signal boost it.
That's it. And because she didn't have, the reputation or the credibility. Because she has this bad reputation around her where she just rants off about something or makes stuff up or something like that. And not a lot of people believed her at the time before Frenemies, right? And then because Ethan dug in, I'm not saying that Ethan did all the work. I'm saying, Trisha times Ethan became this whole thing where a lot of people are exposed in the process of whatever they do in the podcast, right? So anyways, I'm just giving a rough explanation to what Frenemies is because that's not what matters. What matters is what occurred this week where the latest Frenemies podcast came out, and it started off by talking about Gabby Hanna. So I'm sure most of you know who Gabby Hanna is, so we don't have to talk about Gabby Hanna. But what happened after the podcast? What happened after the topic is to be honest, it happened so quick. And I couldn't keep up with the speed of the event, but Trisha got triggered, and that caused Ethan and I almost said Trigger Trisha to have this back and forth of who does more or who does what or who gets paid and etc, and it got very ugly. But from, of course, the viewer's side, it's very interesting to hear these side of the aspects because we don't get to know what goes on behind the scenes, because as a creator, you don't want to expose how much money you're making, because then viewers feel like they're entitled to make decisions with those monies for them, etc, right? So it's their business, their privacy. But Trisha decided to not Trisha, Ethan did as well. They pretty much exposed a lot of what goes on behind the business. And I'm not here to get into all of that too. I'm sure other, YouTube videos are talking about them all and, I don't know, comparing who said what said who. But I want to make it easier to understand for those who actually don't really know what's happening. Sorry, I opened the wrong one. What's currently occurring with Ethan and Trisha is exactly this.
I don't The cut-off scream at beginning as well.
Why are you running? Yeah? You owe me money. You have to give me back my money.
Which money? I owe you which money?
Right, so this is pretty much what is happening between Ethan and Trisha right now. Yeah, it's all about, who makes more and who gets to say, what they can do with the production and oh god. And also, who gets to contribute ideas into these podcasts. I don't know what to say. But this is the summary of it all. This pretty much just fits everything into this whole drama that is happening with Frenemies podcast. But unfortunately, Trisha...
Is that why you suggested we make our own payment drama? Because I am down, yes please.
At least we get to talk about it and, there'd be eyes, looking at us. If it was happening to us. Trisha has a magnetic personality, speaking of magnets and, COVID vaccines. Yeah. She has this magnetic personality where she's so good at keeping eyes on herself. Right? Although she may not, realize it herself, or maybe she does, right? That's why she's successful as a person that she is on YouTube. God. I'm keeping it very general because I'm assuming a lot of people know what's going on between Ethan and Trisha with Frenemies. Yeah, the shame is that Trisha doesn't know how to...
TBH, it seems partially poor communication,
Exactly.
mismatched expectations, and Trisha's breakdown personality.
Yeah, that's the thing.
She is too good at triggering the media, it's so scary.
I don't think she's good at it. I think she's just natural at it. It just naturally happens around her because of the person that she is, right? She sees herself as a victim, obviously, right? And she justifies whatever she does by, I guess, assuming what that other person is trying to do. Okay, so I watched most of what she had to say with her, I don't know. I don't know what to call these. Is it vlog? Yeah, she's a very transparent person. And her entire channel is not where she lays down facts. To be very, very clear of what I think, with her channel, what her channel is. Her channel is
Did
thought
you read
process.
yesterday's tweets?
I've seen, fuck. It keeps getting... There's some tweets that gets deleted, right? So I never get to see them, but I see them through, people like Def Noodles or, whoever keeps up with, the screenshots of the tweets. I'm not sure what you mean by yesterday's tweets, though. Which one? Because there's, shit tons. And right now, Trisha's mad, right? So she's gonna retaliate and says anything that she wants on Twitter.
I sometimes think she has a mentality as if a chihuahua turned into a human.
She's always under a lot of pressure, and God. The problem that she has is what she said in the vlog was she wanted another person that she hired that she can vibe with in the production, right?
She is very breakdowny, which gets the attention. She claimed she was misunderstood and didn't want everyone fired just for someone to be there as someone working for her.
Right, so that's what rolled out. Yeah, Ethan. I was so astonished when I heard, Ethan was saying she wanted everybody fired, and I didn't see anything that led to her, like making that kind of comment. Not in the podcast,
So, like Ethan and
not in the
Trisha's
tweet, not in
understandings
the
of the
DMs.
situation is very mismatched.
Yeah, and I always thought that Ethan has this similar personality with Trisha. Ethan is Trisha if she didn't have the, whatever she's going through, whatever she's experiencing. Yeah.
Also, it seems a lot of the conversation happened after the podcast had ended.
Right. So she left, right? Straight after the podcast.
So
she
it's
walked out.
difficult to say what was actually said.
Exactly. I wasn't sure if Ethan was telling the truth, right? And actually, that wasn't what kind of caught my attention. It's the decision that Ethan made to make that kind of comment in the response to what Trisha was saying. So no wonder the cast would be upset if he was the one saying that kind of thing to, the producers behind the scenes.
Ethan as in H3H3.
Yeah. I'm specifically saying Ethan because if I say H3, then that would also refer to Gila as well, and Gila did nothing wrong. As usual, it's Ethan and his destructive self. And once again, I say this with, a good intention, because he is entertaining because he's so destructive, right? And it's always the other people around him that pick up the pieces and make sure that the podcast and the videos hold together, right? I think, props to Dan, right? For always humbling him all the time whenever Ethan gets something wrong. But anyways, they're the same people. And they see their own reality with their own point of view. And I don't know, maybe there's some like monetary aspect that we are not seeing with what's going on behind, Frenemies' budget, right? So there's so the contract is signed in the way that 50% of the profit in the podcast goes to Trisha, and I believe 5% is taken out first or after, I'm not sure. 5% is taken out first, right, for the production cost, and then the rest is 50-50 with Trisha and Ethan. How does that work?
IIRC, it was 55 to Ethan and 45 to Trisha.
Was it? Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, but I keep hearing 50% goes to Trisha.
But 100 from shorts went to production.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't understand that.
Actually.
Why doesn't Trisha get a cut? Like, without her, the highlights wouldn't exist.
He said 5 more.
Well, 5% more for production. But that's not from the highlights, right? Highlights are a complete separate thing. But Ethan is justifying this.
So not sure if it has 55 or 5 difference.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But anyways, 5% of whatever goes to the production cost. And Ethan is justifying it as that. And he's also saying that she gets
highlights
half
went all to
of
production
whatever.
As far as I understood. Is she just co-host? Doesn't she just show up?
Which is true, but she wants to help out more is what she's saying, and Ethan is saying she didn't say that
amount
to
of
her.
production is very reasonable.
Yeah. So right now she's stating that she's willing to give up more of her money to, I guess, get a say and help out with the podcast because she enjoys what she does over there, right? But the whole reason why this is happening is because Trisha decided to not turn up to Frenemies anymore because she feels like she's making the entire crew uncomfortable, right? Because she doesn't want them upset is what it boils down to, right? And what came after is just an aftermath of that initial action that she decided to take. What I don't understand is no, actually I do understand. There's a difference with the way, Trisha views things and Ethan views things.
ISNT that an easy fix, they just need to talk to each other privately.
Exactly.
Otherwise the show won't exist.
That's the thing. But Trisha doesn't want to, I think. See, Ethan, I think, looks at he's always staring at the bigger picture, or, like consequences and the future, and if this goes wrong,
Yo.
then what would happen to here?
TS
Hi,
kind of
Caro.
BS
We're
is
currently
that?
talking about frenemies and the breakdown and everything. Yeah, that's how I feel. Ethan is looking at this business, right? He's looking at it as a business
Hi, Caro.
investment, and he wants this podcast to keep going the way it does, right? So he invests in merch. He
Karatomato Hi
makes sure
Sensei.
that there's stuff planned for the podcast, and make sure
Well,
that
people with big personality tend to be loud, so understandable to be annoying.
yeah, of course, and that's a good thing. Yeah, it keeps the show entertaining, right? And I think Ethan is also saving up money for just in case as well, because I feel like he's that type of person who is once he's been burnt, he will make sure to remember that so that he can prepare himself for the worst. And right now he's also going through with this lawsuit. He's very confident that he's going to win.
Frenemies.
って何
Jagaman, don't worry. Alright, yeah, it's just a podcast and the drama that is going on. Right, so people who knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm
Trisha
talking
always
about.
keeps it public, and Ethan wants to fix things in private like adults. They've gone through this before though, so I think they'll be alright.
Right? But I feel like it's gonna go as far as maybe it would become
Jaguar
cancelled.
Man 3 High Weeb. I hate drama. Hi.
There's a lot of
Save
things.
money, doesn't he already have enough money to live comfortably?
But see, the money for the stuff that he spends outside of the podcast, like his personal life, like that's his living expenses, right? Is completely separate from what you should
Supermarché
save for the
Jaguar
company.
Man 3 just join people who don't understand anything, join our corner.
Like, imagine you're owning a restaurant and pandemic happens, you suddenly don't have an income.
Bless ya, jelly mama.
Did you hear that? Yeah. Yeah,
line
imagine
is
that
in the words.
situation.
Shy jelly needs a COVID test.
Alright, so Jagaman knows Ethan. Right. So yeah, imagine that's happening, right? And like while that's happening, you're not having an income, but your employee still needs to get paid. So you need to have some money saved up so that you don't have to risk
I
their
just
career.
copy it from Caro.
Like their employment and them just losing out on I don't know, like whatever they should have received, right? If you really do care about employees, if you're a really good boss, right? That's what I would do. I would actually like make
Wait,
more
what?
and save up. That's what I think Ethan is doing. I don't know for sure, but of course he probably do make a lot of money from it, but I think he also wants to make sure that there's some reserve as well, so that he doesn't lose the entire thing and just make the business go into a ditch. But Trisha is the type of person who lives moment by moment, right? She wants to do something, she'll immediately do it, and that tends to be the way this drama is going down at the moment. So she wants to have a say in what happens with the podcast itself, right? She wanted somebody hired that she likes in the podcast. Ethan took it as she wants to fire, the crew.
Was
or
the show
they-
Ethan's idea?
Yes, I think he did pitch it. Yes, it was an idea that H3 came up with. I'm not sure who though. I'm not sure if it's
I see,
Ethan's
replace
idea.
her.
It's not the same without her. She is the important element in the podcast. She is like the necessity in the chemistry that they have. So she is right. She did pitch into this success that H3 is currently having.
Yeah, the dynamic between them is what makes frenemies.
Yeah. And this is staying true to the title though. They are frenemies. They are friends but enemies.
They were also going through mental illness, and that makes you think only about right now or maybe wallow in the past but never about the future. You kinda get stuck in it.
But the action they're taking, depending on the way it's, going, it might become permanent. Oh, well, damage that is. Sorry, I'm just speaking in terms of damage. My issue
I
with
think
this whole
Black
thing...
split of their set is a perfect illustration, TBH.
Yeah, exactly. They don't necessarily agree, and that's why it's so beautiful. I speak as if it's art, but okay, so I've checked out all of Trisha's argument, the comeback that she made after Ethan made this public and public information on, you know, what's currently going on and why Trisha is wrong in the way she says things. But at the same time, he makes a statement where Trisha is saying she wanted to fire everybody. Hi Flakes, we're talking about frenemies. Yeah, she wanted to fire everybody is what Ethan was saying. But I think she just wanted to add one more person, right? But to him,
good morning.
I feel like he's seeing it as one of them has to be replaced. So he has this view where he just I think every time he speaks, he exaggerates certain things to help his situation.
From the sound of things.
Maybe he took it as, you know, her wanting to replace one of the, you know, the hired employees.
Did not watch the episode yet, too sad. It sounded like she complained a bit about the people there.
Yeah, she did.
While wanting to bring in people.
Right? But as a boss, you should have thought about what you're saying to the employees. Even if she did say that, you know, she wanted to fire everyone so that, you know, she can hire new employees, he shouldn't have said that, in my opinion. He made the situation worse by saying that, if he did say that to his cast members, the crew. And the problem with this whole thing is,
which from her side might have been, these people don't fill my needs and I want another person here, and he interpreted it as I want to get rid of these people and get someone new.
Right? She always felt like she didn't belong there because, you know, most of the people that are there working for Frenemies is, you know, H3's crew. Because it is his channel, right? And somebody gets hired without her knowing, thinking that, you know, she is a big part of this podcast and she feels like she could have a say in what goes on with the production.
Yes, Ethan feels like it as a competition. There can be an equal ground kinda. Also, if Trisha just complains about something, Ethan thinks they wants to get rid of it. So yeah, he is kinda a drama queen too.
Right? With the eggshell comment, you know, he shouldn't feel like he's walking around on eggshells or something. What did he say? But yeah, you know, just commenting on how Trisha could be fragile is also what triggered Trisha as well. You know, she was upset about that comment as well. You know, saying that you don't have to. But the thing is, Ethan doesn't have to do that, is what Trisha was saying. But the thing is, though, he's right. If he says something wrong that might trigger Trisha, she might walk out. So this was bound to happen. The sense of humor that Trish has is very different from Ethan, right? She finds things funny, whereas Ethan won't. So there's always going to be a disagreement. Yeah. So all I'm saying is
pronouns.
They? Trisha is they? Where do we go from here? This is it. Yeah, this is exactly what's happening, right? This pretty much summarizes what is currently happening. Ethan is trying to confront, you know, Trisha and figure out what's wrong, what he did wrong.
Stained and useless. And
saying that, you know, what you're saying is not correct and we have to like straighten out everything. But Trisha doesn't want to do that. Trisha
to find out
knows
people are walking
that
on
she's
eggshells
right.
Around you. It sucks. Sometimes it is right to know it, but other times it makes it even worse.
Right? So
Meadow
Trisha...
7, so to Tommy. The sad thing about Trisha is the tendency to blow up and air all the dirty laundry in public, framed from the worst point of view.
Right?
Depends on how they say it.
And, God, the insane thing. With the recent videos that she released on her channel, she's saying that it's okay for her to release DM because he did it too. That's the kind of justification that, you know,
7 Rice
she finds that is okay.
It is hard to recover situations after you've been spoken about in public like that.
Right? She always resort to eye for an eye, especially when she feels like, you know, she's being attacked. She always lashes out. And that's what Ethan meant by, you know, walking on eggshells. Like, his sense of humor is, he likes banters, right? So he makes fun of the other person makes fun of him. It's all fair. like it's all haha fun and games, right? He'll never takes it seriously. But Trisha doesn't have that in her. And I think it's very difficult for Ethan to like make sure that he's not insulting her because she doesn't have the
He
capacity
sees
to
it as
take
banter,
that.
she sees it as an attack, kinda.
Yeah. So that's why
Them.
Ethan might say something that is hurtful to Trisha that he doesn't realize. So he is trying to find out what he did to make her feel that way in the podcast, right? When it happened. But, you know, immediately Trisha just shuts down, right? She's trying to block everything, make sure that, you know, whatever attack that she's feeling is not happening anymore.
Cancel Mirror 2021.
Why? What did I do this time? Right? So, right now, this is happening.
Cancel Shy.
Why are you running?
They them.
Why are you running?
Trisha goes by they them
Right?
now. Why they heard.
Why is she running? Why is she not talking
And
to him?
Maru.
Why am I getting cancelled? Right? That's the whole thing.
Maru.
These things could have been resolved.
It's THWM. Them.
Trisha.
They.
Trisha.
Them. Trisha is them. Pronouns Maru.
Trisha
Shy Trisha goes
could have
by they
spoken
them.
to him. But she doesn't want they doesn't want to. I'm struggling. I'm old. I'm trying to keep up. As far as she sees it, it's the end. Like she's done with it now. They are done with it. It's hard. It's hard. Alright, it could have been easily resolved if... See, this is the thing. If I say they, am I referring to Trisha and Ethan or am I referring to Trisha? How do we make that clear? If I say they, so how do we refer to the person as an individual?
Use
if
names.
Names?
SMH.
But
Ethan wants to square up, get it over with, and Trisha wants to hide and throw dirty laundry out to the public.
Trisha wants to vent, right? So that's why
Just say the right pronouns, not difficult.
it is difficult. It is difficult for me. Old dog, new trick, right? Okay, so, but what I appreciate is Trisha is a very transparent
Just say he,
person.
Ethan and they them for
Like,
Trisha.
you can clearly see what kind of thought process Trisha is having.
Shy transphobic. We LL understand.
But if I say they them, then are you going to see what I'm saying as, you know, me referring to Trisha and Ethan? That's the confusion I'm trying to clear up. But
That's such a
anyways,
small issue. I am making a video for TikTok. Small issue.
right.
Disrespectful.
First world
Just say
problem,
the
right?
right
First
one.
world problem.
Also, can you delete clips? Trisha says that they blah blah blah. Not hard.
TikTok? I don't know, Ogura. Trisha says that they blah blah. But am I talking about Ethan and Trisha or just Trisha? Kara? If I say they are doing this for the views, am I talking about Trisha and Ethan or just Trisha?
He killing the topic over small issue and VM, please Dante make me laugh.
Isn't that what you're after though,
By the
Nora?
context of what you say next, we will figure out what you mean.
But with the exact phrase that I just stated here, are you going to know if I'm talking about both of them or just them? Huh?
Then just say Trisha's name. We better English than you. MARUUU.
Nobody's better
I
at
come
English.
back and
English
while
always
going
changes.
after Shy, are you guys okay? What happened? I wish I could hit you with FISHHH.
Peach came back with the pizza. Everything is on fire.
Should I delete HTTP?
Yeah. Anyways, I was complimenting Trisha. Trisha's channel makes their thought process very transparent. Yeah. So we know exactly what Trisha's thinking from the way, you know, Trisha makes her videos. I'm gonna refer to names now. I'm gonna do my best to refer to names because for some reason she slips out. and I'm not smart enough to catch those. Right? So give me some time to
You
catch
should
up.
they clipped him with pronouns, put him under the light. It is their diary basically.
Right? So,
Oh, I see why they went off. You were complimenting someone.
that never happens. Right. So, we know exactly what Trish is thinking. And Ethan,
Little Peach.
he tends to slip out with, what he's thinking and what he wants to say, as a boss and as a person, right? I don't see any resolution to this other than them actually talking to each other. Because right now, it's just, them telling their friends, this is happening, blah, blah, blah. And then the word goes around, and for some reason a mob forms and they're attacking each other.
Made their pronouns they them, so could practice. Maybe try that with Hiku.
Right? We're not talking about that right now. We're on the topic of frenemies, and
actually Sesame seems to have the vibes.
I'm saying, yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people are also saying that they should just discuss this privately, right? Maybe sit in the same room together and actually discuss, rather than one person running away while the other one chases. Trisha needs to talk to Ethan. So I think the ball is in Trisha's court, isn't it? I want frenemies back. I enjoy frenemies. It's my favorite pastime that, I get to enjoy while, I'm slaving away at my workplace.
It's tendency to put private discussions in a video, woo.
Right? Especially if it helps the situation. So he is cunning like that. He did I think he backstabbed Leafy before as well. Although Leafy, with Leafy, it's a little to say, what is right and what's wrong, when it comes to Ethan and Leafy's controversy.
Everything happens on Twitter now, though. Couples fight on Twitter while sitting on the same sofa together, not saying a word.
Right. It's weird.
Shine Kozo just sit down in a corner. Lol, imagine.
So yeah. That is the situation right now. Tristan's not backing
kinda
down.
Seems like scum emo. I'd have
Yes,
a fake
he
Twitter
is.
account if I had clout.
But I used to watch him.
Doing so.
I used to watch
So
him
new
because
topic.
Hold on. We're talking about Leafy now. Yeah, I used to enjoy his content though because he does
I do not condone.
he does say things without sugarcoating everything, although I think in 2016 he was kind of trying too hard to be mean to people.
Kurt, can we please do that over mod payment?
But before he started doing that, he was legitimately, making comments that were agreeable at times. So that's why I was watching his video. I wouldn't say he's necessarily a good person.
Ooh.
Yeah, but the way things aren't sugarcoated is exactly why I was watching his shit. Yeah. And I think the whole situation that,
Shine Kozo, I have pills so pain isn't as bad.
The whole Leafy and...
I was mod longer, I should get a 10 bonus over ZOYBS salary.
Yeah, Leafy and, what's her face? Pokimane. When that was happening, yeah, I also had a good laugh as well. Because, sometimes, you clearly see Leafy was trying to milk the situation with Pokimane here. And some videos where he was talking about like Forex trading, day trading and all that, whilst having, Pokimane on the thumbnail. He clearly was milking it. And that to me was funny. although the bullying part was a little too excessive, I think. Why are you running?
You don't get profit.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
How Shine Kozo?